Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my channel Vishani's Creation. Today I am going to tell you a story, The Invention of Shoes by Rabindranath Tagore. As we all know that Rabindranath Tagore was an Indian poet, educator, painter and social reformer. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913 for his beautiful collection of verses, Gitanjali. He had a deep interest in children and wrote many poems about them. Now, let's begin the story. Once upon a time, there was a king called Hobu. One morning, he summoned his minister and said, "Listen, Goburai, I stayed up all night thinking, why should the dust dirty my royal feet whenever I step on the ground? All you people, you are only concerned with pocketing your fat salaries. You have no concern for the king or the kingdom or the problems that bother me. You must put an end to this at once, or else no one should be spared from my royal wrath." Now, let's check what's the meaning of royal wrath. Wrath means anger. Goburai wondered and worried. He pondered and perspired. The pandits' faces turned pale. The courtiers' night turned sleepless. In the kitchen, the cooking stopped, and in the castle, the crying started. Now let's find the meaning of pondered and perspired. Pondered means thought about the problem deeply, while perspired means sweated. Goburai looked far and wide and gathered all the scientists and learned men and all the scholars and mechanicians he could find. They pushed their glasses up their nose and sat down to find the solution to the royal problem. After thinking long and deep, they said, "If you do away with the soil." Another one said, "Then how will you grow crops?" Now let's find the meaning of do away with. Do away with means remove or to get rid of. The king replied, "If you cannot figure out, then of what use are you?" So they thought some more and then made a purchase of 17,50,000 brooms. Workers were summoned. The dusting of the kingdom commenced. The dust covered the king's face and chest. No one could open their eyes because of the dust, and no one could see the sun. People coughed and choked. The kingdom was almost buried under the dust. The king said, "You were supposed to get rid of the dust, not fill the world with it." Then 20 lakh water carriers set out with bags of water. They ran fast and they ran all over, pouring water wherever they saw a speck of dust. All the ponds and lakes were soon overflowing with mud. No boat could move on the river. Since there was no water, so all the water creatures perished. The land creatures tried their hand at swimming. They could hardly walk or run on the mud. No bazaar could be set up, so trading stopped, and all the king's subjects sneezed and coughed and sniffed and suffered. Also because excessive mud and water was spread everywhere. Now let's find the meaning of perished. Died or were killed suddenly or unexpectedly. Commenced, began. Once again, everyone gathered to solve the royal problem at once. Once again, the great man and their assistants racked their great brains. They thought and then thought harder, but they were baffled and blank. They were at a loss to know how to lose the dust. Racked their brains meaning tried very hard to think of some